Just when we thought Amazon was finally killing off Android on Fire TV, something interesting has happened. Amazon has now started contacting developers and telling them that new Fire TV devices running Fire OS 16 are approaching their launch day. And here's the important part. Fire OS 16 is based on Android 16, so not Vega, not any other platform. It's actually Android. So they are confirming Fire OS 16 is running Android 16. So despite everything you've heard about Amazon completely moving away from Android, we now have full confirmation that Android-based Fire TV hardwares are just around the corner. And there's one Fire TV device in particular that could make this much more interesting. Now you may be thinking, hang on Tech Doctor, didn't you say Amazon already confirmed that they are moving away from Android? And I would say yes, but there's an important distinction because Amazon confirmed that all future Fire TV sticks will be running Vega OS, which is Amazon's new Linux-based operating system where there's no sideloading, no third-party applications, obviously not Android applications. They confirmed that specifically for Fire TV sticks. And that's why lots of people incorrectly assume that Android is now completely finished on Amazon devices. But what Amazon didn't say is that Android was disappearing from every Fire TV device. Again, it was just the Fire TV sticks. And this is where this new information becomes very interesting. So this is the evidence that was shared by AFTV News, but I personally know that this email was sent to Doc Squiffy. So he's actually the originator of this email, and he was the one that was notified by Amazon saying that make sure you update your old applications because Fire OS 16 is around the corner. And again, Fire OS 16, as you can see there, targets Android 16 API level 6. And just look at the wording there. So they're saying new Fire TV devices. So they're not saying we're going to update existing devices to Fire OS 16. They're talking about brand new devices that Amazon are going to release, which will be running this new version of Android. It just reinforces the fact that Amazon are still going to keep Android on certain devices. They've only committed that new Fire TV stick devices will be based on Vega OS, but we can see plenty of devices will remain on Android. Now, before anyone gets too excited, I would probably guess that these newer devices, these brand new devices running Fire OS 16, are most likely going to be their Fire TV smart TVs, which we know have now been rebranded as Ember TVs. So, because if you check the Fire OS 14, which was also previously announced, that only appeared on a handful of TVs. So it's very possible that Amazon may follow the same strategy and just push out Fire OS 16 to some new TVs. And Amazon typically announces new TVs in September, so you can see why the timing makes sense. But there is one other possibility which I do believe makes this very interesting, and that's basically the brand new Fire TV Cube 4th generation, which lots of you, including myself, have been waiting for, where we don't mind spending £100, $150. We're looking for the most powerful, most capable device from Amazon. I currently have the Fire TV Cube 3rd generation, but if Amazon were to release a newer one, the 4th generation running Fire OS 16, I would buy that straight away. And I know there are many people who currently have the 3rd generation Fire TV Cube. They're really happy with it. Of course, they wouldn't mind if it was a bit faster, if it maybe had a gigabit Ethernet port, maybe a faster system on chip, but that currently is the fastest device available from Amazon. So I can pretty much guarantee if Amazon do release a newer Fire TV Cube, which will run Android, I do believe lots of people would actually buy that. Now, whilst we are talking about getting the most from your streaming devices, whether it's your Fire TV, whether it's your Google TV, whether it's your Android TV device, it is always essential for you to protect your connection, to make sure that nobody can monitor you, to make sure that your internet service provider can't throttle you. I personally recommend IPVanish. I use it on all of my streaming devices, all of my FireSticks, all of my Fire TV Cubes, my Nvidia Shield, my laptops, all of my devices run IPVanish because they support multiple connections just with one single license. So you pay for one subscription and you can install it on as many devices as you like. I've used them now for more than 5 years. They're super fast, super reliable. And if you scan that QR code, you get a special price just for the month of August, and it really is the best way to support me and my work, so many thanks for doing that. So wrapping this up, guys, I do believe that we have to be clear that yes, Amazon is replacing Android on all future Fire TV sticks, but Amazon still have lots of other devices, those TV devices, maybe even some tablets, which are all running Android at the moment. And I do believe those devices will stay on Android. And of course, the big one, if they actually release a Fire TV Cube running the latest version of Android and leave the cheaper Fire Sticks running Vega OS, I do believe that changes the entire Fire TV landscape. So definitely some interesting times ahead, especially in September when they release the newer devices. Make sure you are subscribed with all notifications so I can keep you up to date with the latest news from Amazon and really all things streaming. So really appreciate your support. Do leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about this, and I'll hopefully catch up with you guys real soon. Thanks.